in California and let politicians control our personal decisions.
I am pro-life without exception.
I'm George Whitesides, and I approve this message.
Now at noon, rescue and recovery operations are underway in Florida after Hurricane Milton tore across the state, leaving a trail of destruction and killing several people. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Milton lashed central Florida with high winds, heavy rains, and dozens of tornadoes, knocking out power to millions of people.
It is feared the death toll could climb as authorities assess the damage. We have live team coverage of Milton's aftermath. Corrine Winter has details on the recovery efforts that are underway. But first, Kai Goldberg has more on the storm status right now. Kai?
Well, thank you very much, Glenn and Lou. Greetings, everybody. Milton, of course, a dangerous hurricane and still threatening much of the east coast of Florida right now, making its way through the east coast as we head up towards Georgia. Some of the coastal communities there, as well as South Carolina. You can see basically the remnants now that Milton is a post-tropical, and we're going to continue to see it weaken over the next few hours and eventually out into the Atlantic. But unfortunately, well, we still have many advisories up on the board, from small craft advisories near Miami with dangerous waters all the way through the central part of Florida. Still, once again, the East Coast with the tropical storm warning. And finally, once again, as we head a little bit further up towards the northern sections of that state, a hurricane warning that's going to continue to stay in place all the way through the next 3 days. That's because we're still seeing some tremendous storm surge of up to 3, 4, and 5 feet along that east coast of Florida. Taking a look at all the information, unfortunately, bad news. At least 5 deaths as this time, and many injuries to Floridians as they continue to ride out the storm surge, as well as the massive flooding that's taken place across the street. There are 3.5 million people without power in the state of Florida. Sarasota, that was hardest hit in terms of storm surge. They saw anywhere between 8 to 10 feet of storm surge throughout that portion of the western side of the state. And unfortunately, now that we just saw Milton is out into the Atlantic, it has left behind tremendous amounts of floodwaters, and now there is dangerous and life-threatening bacteria in some of those floodwaters. So, of course, we'll continue to follow Milton, post-tropical Milton, as the afternoon and as the evening moves on. And for more on the specifics and how folks are handling it, I want to turn you over to our KTLA's Corrine Winter. She's live in the news center. Corrine?
Thanks, Kai. You know, the devastation there is so widespread. We just heard from President Biden, who talked about the efforts now underway in Florida to help all of the storm victims there. 9 confirmed deaths, more than 3 million people currently without power. The president saying that the Coast Guard and Army Corps of Engineers, they're trying to reopen the port of Tampa to get food, fuel, water, and other supplies into the communities there.
We're providing the resources needed to rescue, recover, and rebuild. I know recovery and rebuilding projects can take a long and difficult time, but as long after the press and the cameras move on, I promise you, you have to pick up the pieces still. I want you to know we'll do everything in our power to help you put pieces back together and get all that you need.
And the storm weakened before it made landfall. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis warned that there could be more casualties, but the governor did say that fortunately many residents evacuated in time.
My sense is that a lot of the people did leave who were in the evacuation zones. I know we had over 80,000 people staying in shelters. You had massive heavy traffic on the interstates over the last several days leading up to the storm, because I think people were deciding, to just get out of Dodge. We also can say that the storm did not produce the worst case scenario in terms of storm surge.
Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida as a Category 3 storm. That's about 70 miles south of Tampa. And it weakened to a Category 1 as it blew through the state and moved offshore. Communities across the Sunshine State are now underwater or destroyed. This is a scene in the Tampa area. There's an assisted living center with seniors, and emergency teams are having to carry some of those individuals out to safety. The mayor of Tampa saying this morning that fortunately the port of Tampa was not heavily damaged. It's a major part of the energy infrastructure there. There are water rescues in other areas like Clearwater. Again, rescue teams are using boats to get those residents to safer ground. And Milton's force was so strong that it shredded the roof of this stadium that's home to the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. That structure was built to withstand powerful winds of more than 100 miles per hour, but it was no test for Milton. Some residents have started to return to their homes to try to survey the damage and begin the cleanup process there. Many still recovering from Helene just a few weeks ago.
We got our fingers crossed. We're praying to the Lord that He answered our prayers and is going to give us a break. And the surge is what we're really concerned with, you know.
Oh, it was loud. I mean, it was. You saw. It looked like lightning in the sky, but it wasn't actually lightning. It was the power boxes all exploding in the air. It was nuts looking, and it was just bang, bang.
And there is so much work there for emergency teams. They're finding more damage today following Milton's devastation. In fact, several Florida airports are currently closed. There was also a massive sinkhole in the southern part of the state in a neighborhood in Hillsborough County that's currently blocking the only way in and out of that impacted area. Lou and Glenn, will send it back to you now in the studio.
All right, thank you, Karine. Back here at home, it is now illegal to sleep on the streets or bus benches in the city of Anaheim.
In an effort to curb the homeless crisis in the city, that is happening now. And Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost live in Anaheim with more details for us. Hi, Chip.
Yeah, hey there, Glenn and Lou. Anaheim becoming the latest city in California to pass new laws in response to a Supreme Court decision that allows cities to enforce some of their anti-camping laws. Now, here in Anaheim, one area where they actually have some issues that could be addressed by these new laws is on Harbor Boulevard, right by Disneyland. There on Harbor Boulevard, they have had issues, they say, with homeless people sleeping on some of the bus stop benches, sleeping inside business entrances, that kind of thing. Well, some of the new laws passed by City Council on Tuesday will give police more tools to address those kinds of situations.
We do have